Good evening, guys. How are you? Good evening, Moini, Sandeep. Good evening, Chitepu Prasad Reddy. There are only about 14 students online right now, so we'll wait for some time. Nakul, Yogesh, Rohita, Sigma, Sandeep, Suresh, Moini, Vinay, Varun, Nitin, Mayuri, Snehal, Yashesh, Kaushiki, Niket, Samadhan, Sukha, and Chitepu Prasad Reddy. All of you, good evening. Today we are taking Integrative Manager, right? Second half, how many chapters have covered so far? How many chapters have I covered so far? Very good evening. 4 and 5 have covered, right? We watch it now. 6, 7, and 8. Construction, leap of the mind and the wealth of experience, right? A very long day, though the PCP हुआ, very much थकेला है. So please concentrate and quickly we'll finish it today. I need to leave early because tomorrow again I'm having a double barrel gun. PCP will be here. और परसों दो है फिर से. दया करो मेरे पे, all of you. You be coming tomorrow. I am energetic नहीं but लेकिन ऐसा दिखता है. जो दिखता है वो नहीं. I love you. Okay, thanks Mani. Just give me some time. Okay, I need to take a cup of tea. I'm waiting for a cup of tea to start dealing. I don't have the energy to start off integration. Let me get my body and mind first. Okay, give me some time. Good evening, everybody. I'm here. Okay, I had a snack, a coffee, and a tea. It took me some time, so let's get on with the subject. Okay, guys, are you all there? Listen to me. Thank you, Moini. Thank you, Nitin. So today I'm taking right now the chapter number 6, which is called as the construction project. Okay. So let me run through what we have covered. There are 3 parts to the whole book. 3 parts to the whole book. There are 8 chapters. There are 3 parts. 3 things should be understood. One is the chapter number 2, salience, causality, architecture, and resolution. Now salience, from there, salience is of importance. That's in the mind. So we need to explore why is it that we give importance to certain things and not to other things. We need to understand why is it that we give importance or salience to certain things and not other things. If I want to become an integrative thinker, I must know how to think. So from S, salience, comes STE, which I covered in the last virtual class lecture. STE. S stands for stance, T stands for tools, and E for experience. Stance, tools, and experience. My thinking process, which makes me give something important, and some other things not so much importance. My thinking process makes me give certain things more importance, salience. Why is it happening that I'm giving certain things importance? Because of the stance I take. Stance means it's a position of perception. It's an angle from where I look at the world. This stance is a position I take. I choose this position to other positions. Since I take this position, I start using tools. Tools are enablers for progress. I start using tools which are nothing but my thinking process and my actions. In this case, thinking process and actions are the tools. And these tools, when I use them, when I act upon something after my thought process, I get what I call as experiences, E. So you have stance, tools, and experience, STE. Now stance is what? Stance means I'm taking a position. Now I want to explore what type of position is something which you and I take. When I say position means I have some perception about things. So in this chapter construction project, we are talking about the stance which you and I take. And here we are opening the whole chapter by, in page number 96, 95, by talking about the integrative thinker's stance. So integrative thinker stance has got 6 features. There are 6 different thoughts, self-talk which they nurture. 6 different self-talk which they nurture. They have 3 beliefs about the world around them. They have 3 beliefs about the world around them and 3 beliefs about themselves. Integrative thinkers have got 3 beliefs about the world around them and they have got 3 beliefs about themselves. 3 plus 3, 6. So they have 6 features of the stance. 3 about self and 3 about the world. So basically very strong affirmations, these very strong belief system from where they operate. Now, these belief systems, when we start nurturing, when we start imbibing into us, when we start doing it into us, this stance when we start taking 3 about the world and 3 about us, we slowly start giving importance to salience to that which needs to give importance. So if I want to be an integrative thinker and action person, then I need to take 3 stances about the world and 3 stances about the world and 3 stances about the myself. Okay. Now this is what this chapter is talking about. Now there are beliefs concerning the world around. There are beliefs concerning the world around the integrative thinker, page number 96. Beliefs about the world concerning the world about the integrative thinker. The first belief is the current model or the current map which I have created in my mind about reality. The current model which represents reality. The current model means what I think, what is the map I draw inside about reality is only the best map so far. Underline the word so far. Underline the word so far, which means an integrative thinker tells himself that whatever I am doing now is the best so far. Whatever I am doing is the best so far, but this is not the best. As of now, it is the best. So he is always in the process of going ahead. He doesn't say that this is the best and so be it. Best so far is different from best. Do you all agree? Best so far is different from best. So these models, this thinking I have about me having about the world, the first belief is the current model or the current thinking process, the current patterns which I create is just a representation of reality and it's only the best model so far. Now this is one thought process which you need to create in yourself. Second one, the tension between conflicting models is to be leveraged and not feared. Now I spoke about thought and anti-thought, remember? I talk about models which are conflicting, which means when we see a reality in front of us, there is a belief about reality which is positive and there is another belief which is negative. So all these models are offering different perspectives. So when we have multiple thinking process, when I am thinking about something in a manner X, when I'm thinking about the same thing in a manner Y, which is opposite of X, thought and anti-thought, these words are used. What do? We reject the thought and we take the anti-thought and act upon it, or we reject the anti-thought and take the thought and act upon it. The stronger of the two, thought or anti-thought, will actually take you towards the action. When I do this, what do I do when I take action with respect to only thought? I reject anti-thought, and when I reject anti-thought, I get fear about the anti-thought. I don't want it. Right? This is a conventional thinker's way of doing things. I would like to travel to CST, to Mumbai, to seaside. I would like to travel to the seaside is a thought. Is a thought which is there in my mind. At the same time, there's another thought which is that I don't want to travel with the city side, but another voice tells me, I don't want to travel with the crowds. Now these two voices, which of the two will be stronger, that will be the action. And when I say when I travel to the city without crowds, what is going on is you will find that you are actually integrating, you are leveraging both. Leveraging means what? When I add a little bit of extra effort in some endeavor, it brings about a large outcome. A small effort brings about a very large outcome. That is leveraging. So we say that if I am saying something about the world, you are saying something opposite to what I'm saying, what do we normally do? We try to reject one of the two. Instead of when we reject because we are, the fear part of it comes, this way is the best way, that way, no, let's not take it. This is a very deep fear. So what did it say? It says that the deep fear which we are having, instead of fearing it, observe it and use it along with the conflict, along with the model. I have one idea about the virtual class. Somebody else has got an opposite idea of the virtual class. Now these are conflicting models about the same thing called the virtual class. Right? When there are conflicting models about the virtual class, what happens is we may reject one of the two. This is the way either or approach works. But when I say that the tension or the difference between the conflicting models is to be leveraged, what I mean is I say I take this particular idea of the virtual class lecture, that particular idea, and I integrate them and make use of it. So the second stance which people, integrative thinkers take, is what is called as the tension between conflicting models is to be leveraged and feared. You have to mix it and see what best we can get out of the two. Right? This is the second one. The third stance they take about the world is one model is insufficient because a better model exists. This is what is the outcome of the factory setting. Factory setting means what? I start thinking of the world from one perspective only. So one model or one perspective is not enough. There's a better model that exists. A better perspective is existing. A better perspective which is yet to be explored. ये possible है. Okay? Students, you are asking the link. Please call support. I don't provide link. Support is link. Okay? Nitin, Deepali, and all those who have come late. One student is asking what subject. This subject is integrative thinking, integrative manager. Okay? Chapter is number 6. That's what is going on. Right? Now, these 3 beliefs about the world is what an integrative thinker nurtures. He firmly believes that the current way of thinking of mind, which is about the reality, representation of the reality, is not the only best, is only the best so far. He says that I am not content with what is happening right now, there are better things. He doesn't condemn what is happening, but he says there is a better thing. He always has a possibility that there is a better model, there's a better model, there's a better model. First stance. Second stance is when I have conflicting models coming, I don't put them into a conflict, I leverage them, I use both of them together. And the third one is one model is insufficient because a better model exists. There's no one single way of doing something efficiently. There could be a number of ways of doing things efficiently. These thoughts this person has on the world outside him. Then he has got 3 beliefs. 3 beliefs about himself. The first belief about himself is, I am capable of finding a better model. I am capable of finding a better model. I find myself capable. I am not sitting with my hand on my head. I am not sitting desperate, but I am capable of finding a better model. Right now, I am using this particular thought process and model, but I am capable of finding a better model. I am optimistic that I'll find a better model. The second one, the next one is confidence in embracing complexity. Confidence in embracing complexity will lead to a better resolution. Now I must have the clarity that anything chaotic is actually complex. It's a connection of many dots. And I must believe that I need to embrace this complexity instead of running away from it. This leads to a better resolution, better results, better action, better outcomes. I'll explain. Confidence in embracing complexity will lead to a better resolution. Whenever there's a conflict, whenever there's a complexity, whenever the thing is chaotic, now convert the thinking from chaotic into complexity. How do you convert the thinking? I told you last lecture, how many of you go to the crowded market and stand there without doing anything? When you go to a crowded market, what's the feeling? Do you feel good or do you feel stressed? Do you like it? When you go to a crowded market, do you really like it? When you go to a crowded market, do you feel stressed? Now, when you feel stressed, what did I tell you to do as an exercise? I told you that go to a crowded market, which you don't like to go, very stressed, stand there for a few minutes. Anybody done this? No. When you stand in a stress, in a very crowded place like a market, for some time, after some time, what happens to you? After some time, what happens to you? After some time, what happens to you? Can I have some answer? You are standing in a place which is full of mess and stress. I'm telling you, stand there for some moments, some time, 10 minutes or 5 minutes. What happens at the end of the 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Any clue from anybody? It's irritating, Deepali says, okay. Moni says you will feel depressed. Wow, what else? If it is irritating and if you feel depressed, what does it speak about you? Madhura, if you get frustrated, what does it speak about you? Stance, I'm talking about stance about the world. If you are stressed out, I told you this exercise, I don't know how, none of you have done it, looks like. You must have forgotten about it. Now, if you go to a crowded place, which you don't like to go, and you stand there for 10 minutes, I ask the question, what happens to you? Practically every student who has replied is saying that you will go through stress and frustration, whatnot. Can we get some other answers? Now, Tarun Mendrita has given an answer in line with our discussion. You start order existing in the institution. Very few people can understand what Tarun has written. Go and try it. Only when you try it, you know what I'm talking. You don't even try it. You're giving intellectual answers. In a crowded train, you get into a crowded train to go to your workplace. Is the crowd oppressive or not? What do you think? Is the crowd oppressive? Is the crowd unpalatable or not? What do you think? You enter a train in the morning, go to the office, it's crowded. Now, is the crowd something which you like to go in? Well, the first day you traveled in a crowded train, long back. Did you like it? Did you like it or did you not like it? Give me some answers. When you started traveling in a crowded train for the first time, did you like it? Not really. You did not like it, right? You did not like it. Now, after some time, when you go to a crowded train, inside it is a little congested. It's quite oppressive. When the train starts taking off, it goes further into the station of your destination. How do you feel after some time? How do you feel after some time? If you stay in the train, initially when you enter it, you're irritated. when the train starts going ahead, do you feel what is you will go through? Deepak says, feel good that you're reaching destination. No, not always, sir, Deepak. No. This doesn't happen. Feeling of relaxation. You get adjusted to the situation. We see people and start reacting the way people react. Deepali, very standard answer you're giving. We try to settle down to absorb the atmosphere. Snehal. Little relaxed. Mandir Kaur. Vasanti Matre, uncomfortable. Okay. You will feel uncomfortable, is it? Even after the train has taken off after 5 minutes. What do you say, Vasanti? Will you still feel uncomfortable? I'm asking about what you feel, not what you do, Snehal. Snehal is saying, I'll try to find a space. Razi Bahaduni is saying, one can analyze unfulfilled process the way people deal for their business. Okay, eagerly waiting for my destination. Yogesh Patel says, I will be eagerly waiting for my destination. Only few people have understood the question. Only few people have understood the question. You felt uncomfortable when you entered the train. Focus on comfortable part of it. Don't talk about other things, trying to find a seat, etc. Enter comfortable, uncomfortable. You are uncomfortable. After the train started going, did you continue to feel uncomfortable? How did you feel after that? Better? Did you feel better? What is your experience telling you? What is your experience telling you? Some students have never come for the PCB. I can see from their answers. Slightly better? Yes. Now this is telling you what? This is telling you what? I get used to the situation maybe. Yogesh Patel, itna bland answer to deta hai. Happy that I'm on my way. Is that making you happy that you're on your way? Come on, Yogesh. Do you travel in crowded trains? Do you travel in crowded trains? When it is feeling के बारे में बात करता हूँ, तो धक्का बुक्की करते तो अभी ट्रेन के अंदर एंटर करता है. I'm saying, how do you feel? Many students are saying that yes, after some time we get adapted to the circumstances. We get adapted to circumstances. That is what most students are saying. Does it happen to you or does it not happen to you? You are saying, I'm happy, I'm going to work. That is not the emotion I'm talking about. I'm talking about what you feel first. Everybody feels happy just on their way. वो तो चढ़ते टाइम में happy रहेगा. That is different. This is about comfort. That is a state of mind. Okay. Now, please understand this second point about the world, about yourself, confidence in embracing complexity. Many Mumbaikars are very confident of entering the train in spite of being crowded. Yes or no? Yes. If you find your friends, your uncle or anybody coming from outside Bombay, they cannot enter the train. Do you realize it? Now, we have started embracing the complexity of the crowded train. And since we do that, we get better resolution. Is it a fact or not? We are able to act upon it and reach the destination. Is it a fact or not? That is what the sentence tells you. Page number 97. Confidence in embracing complexity will lead to a better resolution. Now this is the second stance you have about yourself. I am confident that even if I go to a crowded marketplace, I stand there for 5 minutes, it is no more crowded, it is no more irritating. This experience, you are giving answers which are not experienced, most of you. Many of you are telling, उधर जाकर तो मैं अभी भी ज़्यादा stressed out रहेगा. नहीं होगा. जाके खड़ा रह के देखो पहला. Go stand there for some time. And then slowly you realize that all that looks messy is not messy, it is complexity. In a complexity, what are we doing? We find connections between all the messy parts. if you are a person who pauses for some time, you will be able to see complexity and not chaos. If you continue to see chaos, what does it mean about you? Tell me. If you continue to see chaos, what does it mean about you? Many of you are still seeing chaos. आगे भी मैं stressed होगा. What does it speak about you? Tell me. If you are continuing to feel stressed, what does it mean? Initially, yes, Moini, you're not confident about yourself. And when you're not confident, what is it that makes you not confident about yourself? What is it that makes you not confident about yourself? It means that you're not adapting to things easily, correct? What makes you do this, not adapting to things easily? Your mindset. Your salience says what? Trains should never be crowded. And it says, anti-thought says, crowded trains are not good. Right or wrong? Correct? This is what what happens in your mind. So what you do is you try to avoid it. You want, that is, some students say that sitting in a crowded train after some time, they feel stressed because they are attached to the crowd, they're thinking. They are not able to think possibility. They can't loosen up and see things upset them. They are not confident about themselves. So they start getting critical about something which is not to their liking. This is the way many people operate. Some people, they go in and the ambience, अंदर का जो conditions है, once you sit in a crowded train or you're in a very crowded, busy marketplace, you feel that after some time your mind calms down. And then you see clarity in chaos. So this is the second stance. The third stance is saying it takes time and patience to create a better model. It takes time and patience to create a better model. Which means what? I am willing to experiment. I want to create a better mental map about what I'm doing. I'm willing to be patient. So this quality is another quality which integrative thinkers have about themselves. So put together 3 plus 3, 6 qualities or 6 beliefs is what I've discussed. The first belief is about one's world, around the world around you. The current model, which is a representation of reality, is only the best model so far. Second, the tension between conflicting models is to be leveraged and not feared. Third, one model is insufficient because a better model exists. These are the 3 views an integrative thinker has about the world. Then the integrative thinker has got 3 things about himself inside. I am capable of finding a better model. Confidence in embracing complexity will lead to a better resolution. It takes time and patience to create a better model. 3 stances about the self and 3 stances about the world. When he does this, you'll find that gradually he is able to do things which are integrative in nature without effort. Okay? Now, these 3 plus 3, it comes in the form of positive statements which you need to tell yourself every day. Positive statements which you need to tell yourself every day. Because these positive statements, they have a magical effect on our brain, and this magical effect brings about the way you work will be very different. You will find that you are getting more and more relaxed and you are able to integrate many things. It happens automatically. Why? Because you are open to yourself, you are open to the world. That's what it amounts to. So this is what we are covering in this chapter so far. Any questions? Anybody would like to ask any questions or come on the channel? Anybody? No questions? Extremely clear everything. 3 parts. First part is SCAR. From that S we get SCE. And for the STE, we're getting these 3 stances about the world and 3 stances about the self. So when you cultivate these 6 beliefs within you, you'll find that you're taking a better stance, which leads to better tools and better experience. When you do this stance, tools and experience repeatedly, you go to a salience. You start giving importance to many things. You work into multiple working hypotheses rather than single working hypothesis. And then you find that your goals are getting achieved by integrative thinking and action. Okay? Now this is what we have covered so far up to page number 97. Now in this page number 97, there is a section called 6.1, Imagining Reality. Imagining reality. Now this is a example about this project called IWOH. IWOH. Now this IWOH, I just read out. Victoria Hayes, the name of the lady, pharmaceutical scientist from the University of California. She worked as a senior reviewer of a new drug application at the Food and Drug Administration US and at Genentech, the world's leading biotech company. She quit a promising career in 2000, the Institute of One World Health, that is what is called IOWH, the Institute of One World Health. First, she had a very promising career in the field of pharmaceutical. She quit that in 2000 and she created this Institute of One World Health, the world's first not-for-profit pharmaceutical company, as she was disgusted with the pharmaceutical industry's failure to address the needs of the poor and the complacency of the medical profession, which means she was wanting to cater to medicines which are affordable to the poor. Now, large companies could not afford it because it was too expensive, and they did not cut down on their thoughts, on the way they act, because they would cut down the profits. So for them, it was good to give medicines to the poor people. Now here is a dilemma. Here is a dilemma. Now the pharma industry had got 2 ways of developing for the people who need them. Page number 98. The first was the profit model. Underline the word profit model. Have you all got it? Page number 98. Profit model. Right? Now in the profit model, the drug company or the pharma company spends billions of dollars to develop a drug because obtains regulatory approval of years of research and sells that covers the cost and provides a return to the stockholders. Here the motive of selling medicines was purely profit motive. They want to sell the drugs, but they will be selling it with the profit in mind. The second approach is called a public health approach. B. It involves using subsidies from the governments and pharmaceutical companies themselves to make expensive drugs affordable for poor patients. The second approach, known as a public health approach, underline the word public health approach, public health model, involves using subsidies. Subsidies means we are getting some rebates in the pricing. We get some help from governments and pharma companies themselves to make expensive drugs affordable to poor patients. Now, the second one which we are talking about is something that comes from the subsidies so that it becomes cheaper. Right? Now, the first one was purely profit motive. The second one is purely public health motive. Now, these are the two paradigms, 2 beliefs from where you can operate. Okay? Now, the first, the profit for model company, it mobilizes hundreds of billions of dollars in capital to find the drugs for locally prevalent diseases. Is it not a fact? The public health model leverages, it takes advantages of the government and pharmaceutical company resources to help millions of people to buy drugs they can't afford otherwise. So one model is profit oriented, the other one is for the social benefit of people. Now, when we are in the world of pharma manufacturing, what is it that we are looking for? Do we need profits or no? We need profits. We need profits. But if profit is the only motive, then the drugs don't reach the poor people who can afford it, who also equally deserve it. So in this case, what happens? There is a either or dilemma. There is a either or dilemma. So what did he do? He did not want to accept the gap in which major diseases flourish. Now, let me read out. But none of the two address the massive needs of people in the poorest countries. The social approach does not cater to the needs of the people in the poorest countries, neither the profit approach. They have no incentive to address diseases that primarily affect poor people because the drugs to treat these people won't generate enough revenue for the developers to recoup their R&D research and distribution costs. Now, it means that the drugs, if they are sold by profit motive, they will not reach the masses. If they are sold by the public health model approach, what will happen? It brings on the cost of the drugs within the reach of the millions, but it can expand the market for the company only for that segment. So these are conflicting positions, right? Now, when this position took place, what did Hale do? Hale did not want to address this gap in which major diseases flourish. But we were not-for-profit pharma company. She argued, if we could put together the technology, the people and the resources to get through to the development stage, we have a product that would be affordable. Let's try it out. Let us put it together. In this report, she said that if I could integrate the profit motive and the social motive, will we not be able to serve the masses at the same time, make a profit, a company profitable? This is where she came from. Okay. Now, what did she do? She identified a type of a disease which is prevalent in India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Brazil, Sudan. A disease which is called as a disease that comes, which is called leishmaniasis. Leishmaniasis. It's skin sores in the body that erupts as a result of a fly bite that carries parasites. It destroys the internal organs of the body that kill 500,000 people every year. Now, this is an area which required a lot of medical attention. There was an antibiotic called amphotericin to treat Kala Azar. Kala Azar, you must have heard about it. How many of you know about Kala Azar? Do you know what Kala Azar? Heard about it? Anybody? The black fever, this disease is called the Kala Azar. It's called the black fever. This is how it is being called in the eastern countries. Okay, this drug, amphotericin, is cost more than lifetime saving. It's very expensive. Okay. Now, this disease was afflicting majority of the people. Now, majority of the people did not have the money to buy this drug. So they were perishing. It was not okay with them. So, Hale and her IOWH team, they launched a search for affordable treatment for black fever, something which is affordable. So before long, they found paromomycin offered to cure 95% of patients suffering from Kala Azar. It's an Indian influenza. Okay. In 2006, August, FDA India approved paromomycin for treating black fever in India. For a full course of treatment, the cost was only $10 per patient, within the reach of the government of India to cover all its citizens. IOWH lobbied with the other countries with large numbers of black fever to allow to follow suit. They also wanted to make this thing happen. Hale, thereby she was able to get a combination of profit motive and social motive together. Okay, now this is a case of how she looks at the whole thing as a part of the stance which she takes, 3 stands about self and 3 stands about the other. Okay, this is a case on that. Now, whatever I've covered earlier is also covered in 6.2, the integrative thinker stance in page number 29. right? It runs through the next 3 pages or 4 pages. And now we come to page number 104. Please go to page number 104. There are two terms given there. Have you all got it? Contented model defense, contented model defense A. Have you all got this? Contented model defense A and optimistic model seeking B. Contented model defense A and optimistic model seeking B. Okay? Now I am explaining these two terms. The contented model defense is based on जो चलता है वो चलाने दो, क्यों उसको हाथ लगाता है? Factory setting. A thing is going on, so we don't disturb it, we allow it to go. This is the content model defense. Optimistic model seeking is what? It says there is a more productive alternative to defend one's own existing model. It says, yes, it is working right now, everything is okay, but there could be something better. So why do I have to feel complacent? Can I think of something better and start moving towards it? This is called as a optimistic model seeking. It's an adventurous exploratory model. The first one is contented. It is not adventurous. It is not exploratory. It is a little bit of cautious approach of one single way in which you have been working for all these years. Okay. Now we come to page number 107. 107. Go to the figure 107. Go to the figure 107 and there I want to read needs of the various regions. One second. Yeah. Go to 109. I'm sorry, go to 109. Go to 109. Now there is a model called TAO, second bullet point. We call this sequence. Second bullet point, TAO. Have you all got it? TAO. Tau. Tau stands for thinking, actions and outcomes. We talk about stands, tools and experiences, right? Stands, tools and experiences. So the STE is also given in the form of thinking, actions and outcomes. Now my thinking takes me to my actions and my actions give me the outcomes. If the outcome is not okay, let me ask a question, which actions of mine did not make the outcome happen? Then I ask myself a question, why did I act upon this? Which thinking made me act? Take a feedback. And back and forth till you get the right outcome. The right outcome. Okay? That's given people struggle to put thinking into actions, into outcomes, team together. Okay? Now this is one thinking process which we need to understand. That is what is covered so far in the book now, in the chapter called the construction project. Okay? Now, just give me, I'm feeling a little tired, okay, give me some time to relax. I'll come back to you. I want you to explore some questions on this construction project. Just give me 2 minutes, I want to just chill and come. Okay? Now, you have any questions on this, please understand that you have to write down in a notebook. I want you to write down in a notebook the 3 stanzas about the world and 3 stanzas about the self. Can you please do it in the meanwhile, while you wait for me? Because these 3 stanzas are something which you want to keep on telling yourself every day. Those of you who attended my integrative theory, integrative managers workshops, you must have gone through it. I think many you were there, right? Now, these 3 are affirmations. These 3 affirmations you have to tell yourself again and again. 3 about self and 3 about the world. Because the more and more you tell this, the more and more it becomes a part of your inner ecology, your thought process. Okay? Now that is the starting point of integrative thinking and action. So we have gone through the journey, chapter number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we have come to. In 6, we are talking about What is it which when I do will make me an integrative thinker? What is it that I need to do? Chapter 2 is giving you SCAR, the theory. Then from the SCAR, we are exploring how the salience has come into picture. It's come because of the STE, stance. Then I ask myself a question, which part of my thinking process, which part of me, which part of my beliefs has brought about this stance? Then come across 3 beliefs about the world, 3 beliefs about the self. When you combine these 6 together, that is the way I, as an integrated thinker, will be operating with the world around me. Now, this is exactly what all the integrative thinking case studies which we covered so far is involved in. Any one of you who wants to be an integrative thinker have to go through this 3 plus 3 as a daily practice. Are you all understanding what I'm talking? Is it clear to all of you that when you put the 3 plus 3 as a daily practice, daily you keep on telling yourself this, and you'll find that there's a magic that's working. You'll find that you're able to integrate things. You'll find that you can go to crowded places and yet feeling comfortable. You'll find that your mind is opening up. Okay? Now, this is chapter number 6, which I has concluded. Give me 2 minutes, I'll come back. See class, I have written certain things on the chat box. Are you all copying it? I want to put your views. I want you to understand three things I have told you in that order. If you really want to become an integrated thinker, start practicing this every day. Okay? I'll again pause and write down a few more things. I want your views there, okay? I'll pause. I'm typing now. Whatever type friends is explaining this chapter. Have you all got it? I thought I'll type it down because I'm going to take it easy now. It's been a long day. So I've given you the substance of the chapter, these typings. Have you got it? Are there any questions? Razi Bayadun, what have you written? I don't understand. Okay, now let me take you to the next chapter. Let me take you to the next chapter, which is called the Leap of the Mind. Leap of the Mind. Chapter number 7. Chapter number 7 is called the Leap of the Mind. this chapter we are talking about building something from nothing. Building something for nothing. It is not nothing, it's basically trying to be open-minded. When I'm open, I can build something out of nothing. And integrative thinking is completely set into the mind, which means here we are talking about, see, let me again tell you, in chapter number 6, you got in touch with 6 affirmations which you need to tell yourself every day. When you keep doing that again and again, integrative thinking becomes a part of your mind. It's set in your mind. Okay? Now, integrative thinkers go through a thinking process which is called as generative reasoning. It's page number 115, and the structure it is coming there, generative reasoning. They also touch upon what is called as causal modeling. Causal modeling is there in page number 115. Have you all got it? And they adopt what is called as assertive inquiry. Assertive inquiry. In this chapter, Leap of the Mind, we are getting in touch with how they actually go along thinking so that they get that affirmations manifesting in the form of reality, in the form of a behavior. Now here it starts up with a case 3. A person named Teddy Blecker, who belong to the profession of actuary. Actuary basically are people who come from the world of actuarial science, which is a discipline that applies mathematical and statistical methods to assess risk in insurance. It's a part of the insurance industry, insurance and finance. Now he was an actuary by profession. Now he was a person, he co-founded a community called, he co-founded a very innovative South African university. Very innovative South African university, which goes by the name of CIDA, CIDA, Community and Individual Development Agency, City Campus. Now, what is this all about? All of us know that South Africa went through a very bad state of apartheid. Are you aware of it, apartheid? Where color of the skin was discriminated upon. People, blacks were segregated from the whites. It was something which the government did, and it was not something which people did. The government itself divided blacks from the whites. A very black mark in the history of mankind. For long years, these blacks were kept as slaves. They were living in very bad conditions. They were not given any education, and they were very badly treated. Then there was this person called Nelson Mandela, who fought for them, was also jailed, was put behind bars. Finally, when the whole world started applying pressure, South Africa dismantled apartheid. And then the blacks were allowed to freely mix with whites. But so many years of oppression for the blacks, people who had never even gone to the school, were living in fear and morbid thoughts, who are always afraid that they may be insulted, they may be beaten up, they may be humiliated. Now this group of people were suddenly given the freedom to mix with everybody. Now the country, its economy will be better if every person working in the country starts contributing. If they start working and producing wealth for the nation. The section of people, whites, they were working, they were educated, and they had always oppressed the blacks. The blacks were suddenly free, and those people had to contribute usefully to the country. But they were illiterate, they were backward in every which way. Teddy Blecker wanted to elevate them. He wanted to give them education. But education comes at a cost. That cost they couldn't afford. So even if he had worked out the most modest thing, even then it was unreachable. He could give them distance learning education, like what you are doing. But distance learning education, as all of you know, has got its own limitations. It does not really, for every 10 students who come for a personal contact program or virtual class, there are hundreds and thousands who don't even come. So it doesn't really have an impact. It's a good thing for people who are serious, who are committed, who are staying tuned. Now, he was caught in a dilemma. What is to be done with these students? To raise them into becoming useful citizens, giving them education, giving them dignity, giving them families, etc. Now to do that, he had choices. His choice was educate them, give them a raise in their living so that they start contributing to the economy of the land. He wanted money. Now, who's going to give him money? Anybody's guess. So what did he do? He went around and created this particular campus, a very unique campus, community and individual development agency, city campus, in which the method of running the campus works. The students will be enrolled from these areas, all the poor students, they will study there and they will maintain the whole school, and thereby they will be repaying the fees. So if they are having a fees of say $1,000, they'll work there, they may work in the kitchen, may work for swabbing the floors, they may do some admin work. So they'll be working within the same school where they are studying. So the school is run by the students themselves, a unique model called CEDA. This is what Blecker came about. And that brought about a good amount of progress in the blacks who studied there. Okay? This is what is Blecker's contribution to the integrative thinking and action. Blecher used two powerful tools to create a new model of the post-secondary education. One is what he called as the generative reasoning, page number 1, generative reasoning. The second one is causal modeling. Generative reasoning is a form of reasoning that inquires into what might be underlined at words, page number 119, 7.3, generative reasoning. Have you all got it? Now, what does it do? It says, it doesn't look at what is right now, it says what might be the case. Right now the lecture is going on, I'm talking to you. Now, if we are into generative reasoning, it's okay, what next? We don't get focused on what is, but we look at what could be, possibility thinking. It helps. We were never taught generative reasoning, we were only taught logical reasoning. Logic says what? Logic is vertical, A into B to C, C to D. Generative is lateral. It starts making you think differently, not logically. Right? So, when you see a person who looks very angry, who looks very horrible, what's the logical thinking tell you? This fellow must be a crook, he must be a criminal. All those things will come. Generative reasoning will say, what could be he, other than what I see about him? Now this requires careful understanding about how you perceive things. Now in most cases what are we doing? We are learning logic. Everywhere in the world, in any education system, particularly Western education system, we talk about logic. Logic says A leads to B, B to C, C to D. And in that we have got two types of logic. One is called as deductive logic, underline that page number 119, last bullet point. Deductive logic. In deductive logic we say what should be. It's a logic of what should be, and it's a mode of reasoning most of us were taught. In deductive logic, what do we say? We say we establish a theory and seek examples of scenarios to confirm the theory. First we say, we put a theory. Like for example, all mammals vertebrates. Vertebrates means having backbone. All mammals are vertebrates with warm blood, like bears. Now here, it is statement because then we look around and we start seeing Mammals. Mammals are the animals, the creatures that lay babies, not eggs. Okay? So all mammals are vertebrates with warm blood like bears. So it means bears are mammals, and bears are have vertebrates, so they have warm blood. Okay? So what happens is I put a statement, then I verify. In a deductive logic, we establish a theory and seek examples of scenarios to confirm the theory. The next type of logic most of us learn is called as inductive logic. Underline the word inductive logic. The logic of what is operative, which infers general rules from empirical observations and draws conclusion about what is and what isn't true. For example, sun rising in the east. Sun rising in the east. In inductive logic, we observe a reality and induce conditions that are expected to be in line with reality. Sun rising in the east. So every day I see the sun rising in the east. Every day I see a reality called the sun rising in the east. And then I tell people that this direction is called as east and the sun rises in the east. First I see a phenomenon, then I give it a law. In deductive logic, first is the law made, then the phenomenon is observed and confirmed, confirming the law. These are the two different types of logic which we are all used to. Okay. Now, underline that word called declarative reasoning. 1, 2, 3, fourth bullet point. Fourth bullet point, declarative reasoning. Have you all got it? Page number 120. Declarative reasoning. These are terms you need for the exams. That's why I'm highlighting them. Okay. In a declarative reasoning, what are we doing? We declare that this is right and that is wrong. We declare. Declarative reasoning is about declaring. Have you all got it? See, that example about the vertebrate is given in brackets. All vertebrates have warm blood. Do bears have warm blood? Bears are vertebrates. Yes. Do worms have warm blood? No, because worm is not a vertebrate. Right? Sun rises in the east. Would the sun rise in the west? No. So these are statements which are proved by actual phenomenon and actual phenomenon which are converted into statements. Two different approaches. One is inside out approach, the other one is outside in approach. This is what we learn throughout our life, in schools, in colleges, etc. Now we are talking about the bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth from the bottom, page number 120, 120. Modal reasoning, M-O-D-A-L reasoning. Have you all got it? Modal reasoning, M-O-D-A-L, modal reasoning. Have you all got it? Modal reasoning, page number 120, fifth from the bottom, fifth bullet point from the bottom. Modal reasoning makes use of deductive and inductive logic, but also requires a third form of logic, what's called as abductive logic. Underline that. Abductive. Abduction means kidnapping. Abductive logic explains what Charles Sanders Peirce, the man who coined the term, he called it as inventive construction of theories that integrative thinkers use to find models yet to come. What we are doing in abductive thinking is we think hatke, think differently. Sun rises in the east. What if sun rises in north? What if sun doesn't rise at all? Adke pushne ka kuch sawal. So when you do that, what happens? It looks very stupid and outrageous. Suppose I ask, what if the sun rises in north? What's the answer for this? What do you think? Will you have any answer? What is the reaction when I say, what if the sun rises in north? What's your reaction? The answer has gone stupid, it's gone crazy. Yes? What comes to your mind the moment you hear this? What if the sun rises in the north? What if men had babies instead of women alone? What if all the students of DAP are online? Now when I ask this question, what is the first thing that happens? I am doing what is called abductive logic. Either we have inductive logic or we have deductive logic. Vertically down or vertically up. But here I am doing something different. When I do this, what is the reaction to this? What is your reaction to this? Do you like it? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Loss of words? What exactly happens to you? Come on, figure out. The auto rickshaw travels on the road. It's a road vehicle, correct? What if it travels underwater? The moment I say this, what thought you're getting? Let me get in touch with your thoughts. Come on. What happens? Okay. Vasanti Mantri says, I go blank. Snehal More says, we visualize things differently. Yes, Snehal, very good. Vasanti Good also said, very good, something different. Come on. Now this is what is integrative thinking के लिए to adapt your thinking. कुछ अलग सोचना चाहिए. अलग सोचे तो क्या होगा? कुछ माइंड में कुछ आता है, कुछ नहीं होता है. What's the color of a hippopotamus? What's the color of a hippopotamus? What's the color of a buffalo? Hippopotamus, many people may not know. Buffalo का क्या color है? Buffalo, भैंस, black, correct? Now, can you think of a purple buffalo? Can you think of a purple buffalo? No. Think about it. What happens when I told you? What happens when I tell you purple buffalo? What happens to you? Do you go blank? Do you visualize differently? Visualize differently? Do you visualize differently? Yes. Now, what am I doing? I am removing from the stereotypical thinking which you have set in the brain. Now, those of us who practice abductive logic, हट के सोचना, हट के बात करना, we'll find that you are able to get into integrative thinking very easily. Right? Now, this is what is abductive logic. It explains why inventive construction of theories. Inventive construction, that is something new which you never thought of. Right? Now this is what gives what is called the leap of the mind. The title of the book is title of the chapter, Leap of the Mind. Your mind starts leaping when you think differently. Archimedes was lying in the tub. He was having bath, he was daydreaming. Suddenly he got up and said, Eureka, Eureka. Because something happened to him. There was a leap of his mind. Something happened to him and he saw the apple fall down. A leap of the mind took place. Because they thought differently from the conventional thinking. When you drop your logic and you go laterally, it is called as abductive logic. Okay? Now, in page number 121, or rather we go to page number 122, we talk about what is called as generative reasoning. Generative reasoning. In the generative reasoning, what are we doing? We are discussing what is called as the possibility thinking. Possibility thinking. Make a note of it. Possibility thinking. You start looking at newer ways of doing things. Generate a new type of reasoning. Generative reasoning. Got it? I'm simplifying it for your sake. I'm just simplifying it. It's called a generative reasoning. Shall I proceed further? Go to page number 124. Go to page number 124. I'm giving you tools. These are the various ways of thinking process which you need to cultivate. We are used to logic, inductive logic. It makes you think in either or terms. When you go and do an abductive logic, it puts you into a new blank position, which will make you get a generative reasoning. It will make you think in a different way. People are into generative reasoning, something which leads to a larger outcome. Now, causal modeling, page number 124, 7.4, is a thing which I am going to be talking about right now. Now, causal modeling means something that comes as a result of a cause. Cause effect is there. So, the cause becomes the source of whatever we are thinking. Model is what is made in my head, a mental map. This modeling is coming as a certain cause effect. So, causal modeling is the name of the modeling. Now, this is coming from what? Causation. Causation means something that is coming as a cause, as an outcome. Okay, that is the cause, right? Now, there are two types of causation or causal modeling we talk about. The first one is page number 124. Two forms of causation is there. One is called as material causation. Can you see the point number one? Point number one, material causation. Can you all see it? Underline the word material causation. Material causation. Material causation says what it says: under certain conditions, X causes Y to happen. X causes Y to happen. X is the cause, Y is the effect. If you decrease price, for example, if you decrease the price X, sales volume would increase. Y. Sales volume Y would increase. This is called as material causation. The decrease of the price materializes into the increase in the sales volume. That is why it is called as material causation. X materializes Y. X creates Y. Okay? The second type of causation is, we need to know, which is called as teleological causation. Underneath that, it's given in point number 2. Have you all got it? Teleological causation. Teleological causation. Now here what are we doing? I said X leads to Y in material causation. I said X leads to Y in material causation. Now I'm asking a question. What's the purpose of Y? X is decrease in price. Y is increase in sales volume. I'm asking a question. Why do I want an increase in sales volume? What is your answer, friends? What is your answer if you know marketing? Why do I need to increase sales volume? What is the outcome? To increase profit, Nakul. Barabar na? All of you agree? To increase profit. Now you got it. Now my question is pause. Now my question is, the outcome, the purpose is to increase profit. That's why I'm telling you, decrease price. What if I get profits without decreasing price? Is it possible or not? What if I get profits without decreasing price? Is it possible? Answer is yes. Answer, market share. Yes, there you are, Vasanti. Samadhan, you have written it. Now, this is a form of a questioning in which we say, it is like a father telling the son, get good percentage in exams. Get good percentage in exams. Get good percentage in exam. X is studying, Y is percentage. Material causation. Theological causation kya bola? Acha, tell me why do you have to get a high percentage? Then you say, if I get a high percentage, I'll get into a good job. Then I tell you, if I give you a good job, is that okay with you? Is it okay with you? You say, of course. So if you are not studying hard and still get a good job, then the question of getting percentage doesn't come. So we always talk about X leading to Y, material cause we talk about. Rarely we ask, why do I want Y? I must ask this why. Why do I want Y? If Y doesn't have a purpose of existing, then unnecessarily wasting your resources converting X into Y is useless. So teleological causation is questioning the existence of Y with respect to X. And then it is arriving at something else. Like for example, decrease in cost increases the sales volume. Why do I have to increase the sales volume? Because I need profits. Why do I need profits? Because I want a higher market share or whatever. So you must ask, what is the purpose of doing X to get Y? The purpose is something else, P. If the P is served, then do I have to go through X and Y? I can go to P and Q also. Are you all getting it? Get up early in the morning and go for a jog. Material causation. What's the purpose of going for a jog? Fitness. What if I'm already fit? Do I need to really go for a jog? What if I get fitness without jogging? Possible. I can. Right? Now that is this particular about material and teleological causation. So teleological causation tells now, it questions why so that you understand the existence of X with respect to the end outcome. Now we come to page number 125, systems dynamics. Systems dynamics. What is the meaning of systems dynamics? It's very simple. It comprises, it's basically, what's a system? A system is a whole, W-H-O-L-E, whole of connected parts. Each part has got interconnections. The system functions as one organ. The parts also function independently. Only when the parts are linked together, the system will function. I'll repeat. The system functions as a whole. This whole comprises parts. The parts themselves function independently, but it's only when they are networked or connected with each other will they make the whole function. Any changes in any part affects the whole. Any changes in any part affects the whole. Okay. Now, systems dynamic means what? It's an example of the human body. Sandeep, you're right. Example is human body, right? In systems dynamic, we map or we put into points the activity of complex systems that is developed. So here we say all the various things that constitute the whole distance learning course. The virtual class is one part, personal contact program, the video lectures, the textbooks. So all these are parts of a whole called the hybrid course. If any one of the thing is not okay, they are not networked properly with the course focus, then the course focus is lost. Okay. If your human body, which comprises of all these organs, even if one organ is not functioning properly, it affects the well-being and the health of the whole body. When changes take place, systems dynamic, the system itself goes through a change, then the components also need to go through a change. Which is what happens in the human body. Is it not true? The same thing is applicable for organizations. When the organization is going through transition, organization goes for transition, then the departments, the people all have to go through transition. If you are having already factory setting, will the transition be easy or will it be tough? If you already have a factory setting thinking, rigid, will the transition be easier or will it be tougher? Tough. It will be tough, right? It will be tough. Not easy, it will be tough. Right? Now, this is what systems dynamics need to understand about. The rest of the pages are giving the CEDA example. You can read through it. I'm not dwelling upon it right now. Now we come to page number 128. 128. Very powerful form of communication tool called assertive inquiry. Assertive inquiry. Now, assertive inquiry is very simple, very easy to understand. I talk about what I have rather than what I do not have. I talk about what I have rather than what I do not have. We do not have fast bowlers. We do not have outfielders, good outfielders. do not. What do we have? We have these things. Good start, good opening batsman, good wicket keeper. So in assertive inquiry, we focus on what we have and we do not focus on what we do not have. And through the focus on what we have, we make things better and better and build up our business or our thinking process. Correct? This is appreciate assertive inquiry, right? And that brings us to the end of this particular chapter about deep of the mind. Okay? So essentially this chapter is talking about the type of thinking process you need to go through. There are two types of logic, inductive and deductive logic. Abductive logic, which comes out of that. Causal modeling, appreciative inquiry. These are the things we talk about. So in this chapter, what are we doing? We are saying that if I want those 3 plus 3 happening to me, then I need to do this type of thinking. That's what it says. Okay? Give me a 2 minutes break. I'll come back to the last chapter, which is a very tiny chapter. We can finish it fast. Okay? So we'll cover the last chapter, okay, and I will conclude the whole topic, Integrative Manager. Chapter 8 is called the Wealth of Experience. Wealth of Experience. You practice integrative thinking, and when you keep on practicing it, you go to page number 139, up to 138, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137. I've given you the example. A.J. Lafley, how he went along using all these things in his functioning. A.J. Lafley of Procter & Gamble. Okay, I'm not getting into the details of that because you can read it. What I need to cover is in page number 139, stands and tools influence experience. STEV talked about. The way I think is stands, the way I take a position. And tools is the way I think and act. The way I take a position in life, the way I think and act leads to my experiences. They influence my experience in a very big way. Okay? And if you go to the next one, 8.3, page number 140, experiences in turn influence tools and stands. The experiences which I have, the outcomes that come out of my work, that will give me a type of a backup, or it gives me feedback about my tools and stands which I've had in life. Stan says, this subject is tough. Tools, you study very, very hard. Experiences, you get above average marks. This above average marks influence you to study harder and then have a stance that I'm going to be more dedicated towards something. That's why experience in turn influences tools and stance. Experiences can deepen mastery. You keep on doing things again and again and again and again. Coming back to the integrative thinking loop all the time, you start becoming master in whatever skills you're doing, whether it's teaching, training, or writing a book or something. You become mastery. And what happens when you become mastery? You start working with the ease. Your competency level, as you call it, goes up. And when more and more experiences you have, if you keep on doing the same thing again and again, experience start growing with this context of integrative thinking, not all the experiences. You may be having 20 years of experience or 15 years of experience, but if you're not an integrative thinker, this is not applicable. This is applicable for people who are doing integrative thinking and acting upon it regularly. When you keep on doing this, you'll find at one point of time, your experiences are bringing out your originality. Try it and see, it works. Constantly integrative thinking brings about originality. This is an important statement. Please write it down. It is one of the concluding statements of the book. Continuous practice of integrative thinking and action. Continuous practice of integrative thinking and action deepens the mastery of the action. Deepens the mastery of the action. Next line. The more and more you deepen, more and more one deepens, the experiences the experiences start bringing out, the originality of the individual. The originality of the individual. The originality of the individual. Next line. It results in the most powerful experience. It results in the most powerful experience. Page number 142. It results in the most powerful experience, which is mastery combined with originality. Mastery combined with originality. Mastery combined with originality. Last line. This results in a personal knowledge system. A personal knowledge system. A personal knowledge system. A personal knowledge system. Into bracket STE. STE. A personal knowledge system into bracket STE. Personal knowledge system STE, which creates a wealth of advanced advanced experiential knowledge, which creates a wealth of advanced experience knowledge. Got it? All of you written it? Okay, got it? Everybody got it? Let me know whether you got it. Come on, write it. Write it on the chat box. Have you written every sentence which I dictated now, all of you? Okay, thank you. Now, let me conclude. We have gone through the journey of learning integrative thinking and managing. All the 8 chapters. Today we have concluded by 3 chapters, 6, 7 and 8. In 6 we got in touch with 3 stanzas about the world and 3 stanzas about self. 3 sentences, 3 affirmations, 3 sets of words about the world and 3 sets of sentences or affirmations about the self. These sentences have to be written by you, kept in front of you, and you should keep on telling this to yourself all the time. It's a practice, it's a skills building. When you do this, you'll find that your thinking, your actions will be moving towards integration. You have to practice it. And when you do this, you'll find that the more and more you do integrative thinking, it will start deepen your experiences and it will start taking you towards mastery, originality. And all these combined together will give you a personal knowledge system which will be very powerfully oriented towards advanced experiential learning. And within no time, in any crisis situation, you will be doing things calm and at the same time highly effective. One has to practice it. The more you practice it, you will find that this will happen. In this subject, my dear friends, I have given you a very powerful tool of thinking and action. We have gone very step by step, understanding every aspects of the particular subject and the process. Now, some of you have started using it and practicing it. Others, I don't see it happening. I wish you put it into practice. Because this book, Integrative Manager, is not just a subject in semester 2, it's a way of life. I want all of you to go through this experience of the way of life and understand that this is more of an experiential thing. Put it into practice and see the benefits, my dear friends. And with this, I wish you all the best for these exams. We'll meet again for the Innovative Management lecture. I think it's there on 26th of November, right? Do well, and anything you want, you can always be in touch with me. Good luck. Thank you very much, and good night.